Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all. Tonight, we're joined by Urgent Hush. Thanks for taking time to stop by the hangar.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Dusty. I've been looking forward to this. Really love your content, and so this is a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you to all the folks who are joining over in the chat. Can Urgent Hush beat the engineering bench and become our chief engineer? Climactic Prince is still leading the charts. And so far, no one's been able to compete. So we will see. So stick around and find out. So before we dig into your fleet, let's learn a little bit more about you. Thinking back to when you first started playing video games, what was your first computer or game system that you ever had?
So originally, the first game system that we played on would be like the Atari. So like Pong, but I was like 8, 9 years old at that time when we were playing on that. I didn't really have a full game system until I was quite a bit older. Mostly we played arcade games or like at the arcades.
Oh, wow. So thinking back to your first video game you ever played, what was that?
The first video game I played, and mostly would be Pac-Man, like Donkey Kong, that kind of stuff would be the first video games that I played.
Wow. So when you were a kid at the arcade, so that was at like an arcade room, or where did you play
Arcades,
those?
yeah, that's where we played, yeah.
And where did you have arcades when you were a kid?
In the malls, downtown. Actually, in all honesty, there were back in the day arcade stores were really quite popular. So there were actual dedicated stores to like arcade games and pinball machines, all that sort of stuff. It was like a dedicated little store.
Right. So you were playing Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. What pinball games did you like?
So there were a lot of different pinball games. There was obviously the usual ones like the Haunted House and that sort of stuff. But then after Star Wars became popular, Star Wars pinball games came out. And then, of course, all of the movie-based ones started becoming really popular.
Right. When you were at the arcades, were they super busy? Like people stacking quarters on your machine waiting for you to get done, kind of busy?
Yeah, very. And you had to, there were some games you just, you couldn't get on until somebody decided to go have lunch or have a pee break or something, right? You know, it's like
yeah. Back in the day, that was how it worked, huh?
Yeah.
Throughout your gaming history, what was the first game that you truly loved and you knew, wow, this is something really cool. I want to play this all the time.
So my first actual game that just blew me away was SOCOM. It was a PlayStation game, and it was Navy SEALs, and you worked in a team, and because it was online, it was my first multiplayer game as well that I actually played with other people.
So this was a PlayStation game that played online.
Yeah, played online. It was a multiplayer game, and you got really to know people really well. And that was my first ever clan, actually, was the Federal Pimp Daddies. There's a reason why it was called that too. So
what type of game is SOCOM? Is it a top-down shooter or a first-person shooter? What type of game is this?
Nope, it's a first-person shooter that I'd gotten a chance to play, and it was probably at the time, in my opinion, the most realistic tactical player game that you could play. Console-wise, obviously, PC people are going to say, "What are you talking about? We have tons of games that are." But it was the first one that I really had played on the console that was most realistic-ish. You even could hide in the shadows and stuff over various versions of it because it was like SOCOM 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, wow.
And then
Okay.
like the shadows were important.
Interesting. So is this kind of like a Rainbow Six kind of style of
Yeah.
game? Like
Yeah,
squad
that's right.
tactics and did you
Exactly.
guys communicate with each other while you were playing over voice, or how did that work?
Absolutely. It was in-game
Okay.
sound and mic and everything, right? So you plugged in a
Wow.
mic and you talked with each other. I remember my mom had been over to the place and she saw it and I was talking to her and she's saying, "Why are you talking to the game?" And I'm going, "Because see that character on the screen, the guy
Hmm.
who's there, I'm talking to him." And she goes, "No, you're not." And I went, "Hey," the guy's name was Psycho, actually. I said, "Psycho, jump up and down." So he jumped up and down. I said, "Hey, Psycho, spin around." So he did. And my mom's like, "That's crazy. How can you do that?" She was still struggling with radio waves, right? So
Yeah. No, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine on the PlayStation that voice comms, all these things you're talking about were working and working so good
yeah.
because yeah, it was a long time I think after the PS1 that I even tried that. So that's so cool to hear. Thinking through all of your memories of video games throughout the years, what's a moment in gaming that you never forgot? Like while you were playing the game, something happened that just never left your mind since that day.
So people have always talked about how good Skyrim is, and
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim's like the go-to when it comes to talking about um, first-person play and this kind of idea. The first time that I was actually really blown away was when I went into the dwarf tunnels and you go down the mines and stuff and inside the underground
Right.
of Skyrim, and you realize there's a whole world down here, and
Yes.
it was a pretty impressive world too.
Is
And
that the Gwenmar? They were kind of like a lot
the
of
Dwendar,
robotic
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
enemies in there.
yeah. And the first thing you want to do is to share that with everybody. Hey, did you know this existed? I didn't know this was down here. This is crazy. So that's always kind of stuck with me. That's uh, a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, no, Skyrim definitely has a lot of those kind of moments. I think a lot of people were surprised when they played through Skyrim at all the different dungeons and various levels and maps that you don't see on the surface.
Yes,
As you
yeah,
were
absolutely.
Yeah, as you were growing up, did you have a favorite science fiction franchise or movies or science fiction universe that influenced you the most, you think?
So all of us loved, well, those of us who grew up in my era loved the, Star Wars and Star Trek and that
Mhm.
kind of idea. I think I was a little bit unique in that I was really influenced a lot by Battlestar Galactica.
Wow.
Battlestar Galactica wasn't just a movie, right? Like
Mhm.
it was a series, and so you got to sort of live with these people, if you will, each week.
Right, you
Um,
were watching it on TV during the week.
yeah,
Yeah, I watched that one quite a bit with Starbuck, Apollo. I think
yeah,
Lauren Green played like the commander. Um,
yeah. He was
yeah,
Paulo's father, and yeah, so
yeah.
yeah.
Cassiopeia. Um,
Okay.
what was the
And I
name of
think
the
that
fighter ships in that game? The good guy fighter ships. What were those things called? I
the
can picture it.
Vipers,
The Vipers. Okay.
yeah, the
Yeah, I used to
Vipers,
love when they would show the joystick and they would push like the thrust button and it would, like to try to
yeah,
it made it feel more real. And I think that was like my first
yeah,
HOTAS experience was watching Battlestar
right.
Galactica and seeing
And they
that.
got the flame coming out the back, which everybody goes, "There's
Mm-hmm.
no such thing as flame in space," but yeah, it's still, it was still really cool to watch. And I think the
Yeah.
idea of like just a whole community living together on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
um, their interactions and stuff, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a a good series.
Yeah. And then there's a new series of Battlestar Galactica, if I'm not wrong, but I haven't seen that one yet. What's that? Did you watch that one too?
I did, and that one takes on obviously a more modern kind of perspective of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who plays Adama in this one is I really like him. He's a really good actor. I can't remember his name, But I think he's an excellent actor. It is probably the best show that I first saw space battle scenes, combat scenes that were really realistic in the sense of instead of just flying like
Base planes.
Planes and stuff do, they actually show the 6 degrees of movement, and they have ships that are flying straight, but they want to shoot at the big ship beside them, and they turn sideways and continue to slide sideways as they're shooting. And
oh my gosh,
a lot of lock-on missiles and stuff like that. It just felt really real and gritty as compared to a lot of space shows.
Wow. Anyone in the chat watch Battlestar Galactica, like the first one or the second one? I saw the first one, but I didn't see the second one. And Wrecker says that the actor is Edward Olmos.
Edward Olmos, yeah, the Latino actor, yeah, really good actor. I thought he did a great job on that show.
Okay, yeah, Technocupa said he saw both. Johnny Macaroni watched both. Wrecker watched both. Okay, so a lot of people have watched these. I feel like I'm missing out not seeing the second one. I need to find out what station that's on. Oh, Wrecker said he was also in Blade Runner. Johnny Macaroni says we're all old farts, apparently. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, so that's really cool. I need to see that because I want to see the 6 degree of freedom combat. Like as someone who watched Star Wars all their life and the first Battlestar Galactica, I've never really seen a combat battle scene well done where they were utilizing those tactics of the 6 degrees of freedom. So I think that's something I need to see.
Yeah, it's definitely more grounded feeling because of it. The only other show that I think is better when it comes to space is The Expanse.
Oh. Has anyone watched The Expanse in chat? Okay, Johnny Macaroni saw it. Technocupa said the later series of Battlestar Galactica inspired some ship designs of his own. I didn't know you designed ships, Technocupa. That's cool. Assassin said, sadly, I haven't seen those, and I was more of a Star Trek, Star Wars. Yeah, see, I'm the same way, Assassin. I didn't really get to see any of these newer space shows. I don't even know what channel to watch because we don't have TV anymore. Remember, it used to be like, oh, it's on ABC or NBC, right?
Yeah.
Like you knew where to find stuff, and now it's like things are scattered everywhere. Yeah, Technocupa, post those in the in one of the channels over there. Maybe we should add a channel in Discord for personal like artwork that we all do. Wrecker says The Expanse is the best. The series is even better. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the series is so good. Really enjoyed that.
Okay, so thinking back to Star Citizen now, what games were you playing immediately before you started playing Star Citizen? So think about the games before you pledged and all that you were playing on a pretty regular basis. What games were holding your attention?
So, from a space perspective, I was console, don't forget, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
I was playing Starfield.
So you were on Xbox console, not your PlayStation anymore. At some point you transitioned to Xbox. What was that move about?
That move was about the clan that I was in and Halo.
Oh, Halo. Okay. Yeah. So the influence on you to move to an Xbox was really the friends you played with online.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
pretty much.
So which Xbox were you playing on? So did you get the original Xbox to play Halo, or was that like a later series?
Yep. No, I got the original Xbox. And then moved up from there to I believe it was the Xbox 360, then the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and then now the Series X.
Wow. Okay, so this is interesting, guys. For the folks in chat, like I think this is our first guest ever who didn't have a PC all the way up until they first played Star Citizen. Like, to me, going from a console to a PC is a big deal. Like, that is a big move. The learning curve. I mean, you probably use computers and stuff in your work and things like that, but like, it's different to have your own computer to like maintain, especially a gaming computer. They have, you want to keep it running as fast as possible and using as little RAM as possible. Like, there's a lot of tricks, right? Wow. Okay. So before Star Citizen, you were on your Xbox Series X. Was the newest one when you got Starfield?
Yeah, I believe I had the Series X for Starfield. Yeah.
Okay, and tell me about playing Starfield. What was that like?
So Starfield, I thought was because I had already seen Star Citizen stuff on my laptop, right, which wasn't going to run it, but I thought Starfield was going to finally scratch that itch for a really good space game where you're really involved in it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing on Starfield. It has its enjoyment, but it made the same mistake that we're seeing, or that we saw for a little while with CIG. 100 systems. The systems weren't very well blown out. They were all procedurally generated. You didn't really fly your ship down to the planets and stuff. You kind of did all these cutscene-y things back and forth. And it started becoming very, and we see this a lot with a lot of games. It just became, you go down, it's the same procedurally generated building. It's the same thing over and over again. There's nothing new. There's nothing exciting. And the planets were not exciting. Lots of them were just dust, and you did get a couple that had like some fauna and stuff, but so I was quite disappointed in the game. I enjoyed it. I played it. I went through all of the missions and that sort of stuff, but it just didn't do it for me.
How much do you think your enjoyment of the game was hampered by the lack of multiplayer? Because just listening to your past, all of your gaming experience seems to revolve around playing with your friends. And that game isolated you, even though the world was probably pretty amazing, but your friends weren't there playing with you, were they?
No, they weren't with you. And that's something that I think they've adjusted recently, but I'm not sure. But it's like one of the complaints I had. I have grown kids now, right, who play like better gamers than I am. And that was one of the things that I complained about all the time, is that you couldn't have your friends come in and walk through your ship with you. And you had your followers could, right? Those NPC followers could.
Right.
But you didn't have anybody else who could come in and take a look at it and see what you built. And so that had, I think it influenced quite a bit.
Yeah. Hey, Trash Bandicoot's in the chat. Good to have you, sir. So what attracted you to Star Citizen then? So you were playing Starfield on your Xbox, and the move for you to transition to Star Citizen is a massive one. What attracted you to Star Citizen to begin with? What were you seeing or hearing about it that made you feel like I might want to do this?
Well, originally I didn't realize they were even connected to Star Citizen, but the ship commercials and stuff that they did, all the different ship renderings. The first one that kind of really stood out to me was the one with I believe it's the 350R that talks about the speed. We all crave speed and stuff. And I thought, that's a really cool commercial. What the heck is that about? And I saw the Star Citizen stuff on it, and I'm like, oh. So I started looking into Star Citizen, I think at that time, really. And I just was watching the videos and stuff on it. And the more I watched on the videos, the more interesting it seemed, even though there was such negative stuff being said on some of the forums. Don't go to Reddit, guys. Sorry.
There are many Star Citizen Reddits out there. Yes. If you end up on the wrong one, you might be thinking about the game differently. So
Yep,
how
absolutely.
long did you follow Star Citizen before you finally did something?
So from about 2019 to
Mm-hmm.
2024, I watched a
Wow.
video 2023, 2024 called Star Engine.
Okay, that was the Citizen Con Star Engine demo video, which was really like almost like an ad for the underlying systems that make Star
Yeah,
Citizen possible, more so than the gameplay of Star Citizen.
right, exactly.
And what was it about that video? What really caught your attention the most? Like what part of that video?
So it was the ability to go seamlessly from, and everybody's going to laugh when I say seamlessly. Yes, I know there's stuff, but legitimately seamlessly from planet to space
Mm-hmm.
station to other planets. Basically, no loading screens. The beauty of the graphics and the
Mm-hmm.
visuals, um, just how the planets were built, the forest, the streams, everything about it. And if you watch that video, it's like I don't know. It takes you into the ships. It takes you into the I'm going to forget what it's called. Well, it takes you into the Carrack, first off, one of them.
Yep.
It takes you into the
The
Reclaimer.
Reclaimer. Yep.
It's just seeing people living in those ships and seeing the interaction and seeing the way that it is also seamless and so connected. I loved that.
Mm.
The fly through the systems. Yeah, that's what I watched.
Yeah, yeah. That video had a huge impact on the game, for sure. It's interesting though, because I've never spoke to someone who wasn't already in the game when that video came out, right? So you were playing Starfield and watching that video probably was like, because there's a lot of loading screens in Starfield. I've played
There
it.
are.
I think it's a cool game and all, but yeah, the loading screens are real. And so that was the thing that attracted you. So when did you finally decide to pledge? Because this is a big investment for you to decide. I already have my Xbox One S or X, and now I want to play Star Citizen. I have to buy a PC, and you never had a gaming PC, right?
Not a gaming PC. No, I had laptops that I used
Right, like
for
for work
like
kind
work
of
and stuff.
things.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a huge expense to undertake to try a game that you've never played before. How did you build up the confidence to make that purchase? Because that's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and it had a lot to do with the job that I was in. We get bonuses every year based on how work goes and everything.
Okay.
And I got a big bonus check from work, and that was okay. I've got the money to spend reasonably without,
Mm-hmm.
hurting myself or going into debt really per se.
Yep. Being responsible.
Um, and so I went, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look at some gaming PCs. I found I like it. It's a Lenovo Legion,
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
and I got it 25% off, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go all in, and I'm gonna buy this, and I'm gonna
Wow.
download Star Citizen.
Oh my gosh. So what was that first pledge ship for you?
The first pledge ship, probably like a lot of people, the Titan.
The
It was
Avenger
the
Titan.
package. I think it's called the Lucky something package.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was my
That was
first
out
pledge ship.
around the that package was like for St. Patrick's Day, right? It was the green armor set.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it had
those are
that.
cool.
The sniper rifle comes with it and
Mm-hmm.
the armor. Yeah.
So so now you've got the PC, you installed the game, you opened the game for the first time, which has got to be a crazy experience because this is not the easiest game even to install on a PC, get it up and running, and the number of keybinds and mappings and like if you're a PC guy and you've played Flight Sim and DCS and all these other games on your PC, the Star Citizen's not that intimidating. But this must have felt like, holy cow, what did I get myself into?
Keyboard and mouse.
Yep.
Like, what the heck? I'm a
Yeah.
I'm a controller guy, right? Like it's what I'm used to. And so I'll be honest with you, I crashed a
Yeah.
few times when I started out. But yeah, just like I can do the WSD kind of stuff and everything, but it's like knowing what all the other things are, knowing how to interact and stuff, like setting that up. It did take me a little bit of time. It's not at that time that there was no, the tutorial was kind of go find this, go find that, but they didn't have like markers to show you where it was, and you had to go to the map. If it said go to this area, you had to go to the map, and you had to look on the map, and you had to sort of figure out, okay, I'm on the map, I'm looking, where do I go from here? So I fumbled around in Microtech in Babbage for quite a while before I really got going.
So now that you got into the game, you're playing the game, what was the moment that you knew Star Citizen was different for yourself? I mean, you saw the video, of course, and that had a lot of influence, but when you actually started playing the game yourself, what was a moment where you were like, okay, this is different?
So seeing it on a video is completely different than doing it yourself. You see it and you go, okay, this, you want to believe it's true, but it's like we are used to loading screens and this kind of idea. But when you get in a ship yourself, and well, first off, just even walking around and going onto the subway, like,
right? Yep.
That wouldn't be a thing. You would get into a loading screen and you would load to the hangar, and then you'd load from the hangar to wherever, right? But doing everything and going into your hangar and getting into that first starter tutorial ship and then blowing it up and then starting over again. Flying up to the space station, Port Tressler, and climbing out and wandering around and just realizing, yeah, that was all one one smooth movement. Well, it wasn't smooth with
relatively
me, but
smooth.
that was the beginning. That was when I was like, this is exciting. Now I want to go to the other places, but I was afraid to go to them just yet. I wanted to make sure. So I stayed in Microtech and Babbage and Port Tressler and tried to do everything there first to really get a hang of what was going on.
Right. Wow. That must have been, that's quite a big jump. What gameplay loop do you enjoy today? Like what's the gameplay loop that's mostly keeps you busy?
So the gameplay loops, pretty much the industrial gameplay loops are where I've always like, and that's where I concentrated my fleet and my ships and stuff on. You know, I like the salvaging because it's just peaceful. The salvaging and mining are really peaceful. And people say, oh, they're so boring, but I enjoy it. I enjoy sitting there and salvaging a ship and listening to my music and drinking my coffee. And so the industrial stuff, mostly lately I've been doing the cargo stuff, but the industrial stuff is what I enjoy.
Right. Like that was what, 2 years ago, maybe almost 2 years ago now since you got into the game. What keeps you playing the game here today?
Hopium.
Oh, okay, not what I was expecting.
What keeps me playing it? I enjoy the world and I'm waiting for it to be fully fleshed out. I think waiting for this world to be fully fleshed out is going to change a lot of stuff that is in it. I made a decision to join an org as well. And by joining an org, you get to play with other people. It's just, you're just not by yourself. You're not solo. You're not just trying to figure it all out. And they answered a lot of questions for me, and I got to develop a friendship with a number of them. We ended up meeting in Manchester for the Star Citizen Con. So I think that helps you if you have people in the game that you can talk to, that you can join up with, or you can meet and talk. I had a friend actually that we actually went to the lounge in Orison and sat down at the tables at Orison in the lounge up, you know, the one that's upstairs of the
Yep,
Yeah.
Cloudview or somewhere.
So we went up there and we just sat down. We talked for half an hour and just chatted about stuff, our life and everything.
Yeah.
And that's you know.
And that wasn't
So just
RP. That
seeing
was real life, right? You guys were having some drinks, sitting there, listening to
exactly.
the
We were having a
music.
drink together
But it was
in
real life
Orison.
conversation, or was it RP conversation?
No, it was real life conversation. We sat down,
Okay.
we just talked about things. We saw the ships and stuff flying by, and we're like looking at it, going like, "Oh, hey, look at that one going by." And
Mm-hmm.
it just was that's what I mean. You can have a real experience with people in this game. It's crazy.
Yeah. So what keeps you here is mainly the people. It's the community itself that you've built around the game. Like if all those people left tomorrow and said, "Hey, we're playing this new online space game," you'd probably go with them because of the people more so than you want to leave the game? Or how much do you weigh
No,
the community of friendships that you've made?
yeah. If there was another game that was even close to what Star Citizen has done, maybe, but I doubt it.
Okay,
Like,
so even if
I've
all your
invested a
friends you've
lot.
made left, you would stay here because of the investment you made.
Yeah, probably. Because I have
Mm-hmm.
invested quite a bit into this game.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see that when we get to your fleet very shortly.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So if you guys like the stories behind Star Citizen ships and the people who fly them, if this is your kind of thing, you're enjoying the show, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow the YouTube live channel. I would really appreciate it. We have a new Hangar Door show every Sunday at 10 a.m. And then we have Collecting Dust, which airs every week on Thursday, where we look at old Star Citizen memorabilia and physical items that have come out over the years and look at the stories behind those. And it's a lot of fun. So I'd appreciate that if you guys could take a moment and subscribe over on the live channel. Before we jump into your hangar, it's time for a quick hangar update for you guys. I've got the new factory service manual dropped yesterday for everybody. It was early access for about 4 days, but it's public now for everyone. It's the Constellation Taurus factory service manual just launched. You can download the manuals and everything is online now. So all of the documents are now there. So if you want to go ahead and download that stuff, I'll post a link here in the chat for you guys. There you go. So yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's on the main channel, and I would appreciate that. I'll post you guys a link here. So let's head over to your hangar and talk about your fleet. Here it is. This is the beautiful fleet. This fleet is quite interesting to me because the way you've laid it out too. You've got some ships coming down the side here, and for the folks who are listening on the podcast, he's got a bunch of ships that are all of his individual purchases versus on the other side of the screen, he's got his packs. So he did buy a few packs in the game that had a lot of ships, but then he also has some individual ships. And the individual ships, it's mainly industrial ships. He's got the C1 Spirit. He's got a Vulcan, which is an interesting choice, a Starlight, the Aurora Mark II, the Lightning, F8C Lightning, the C8R Pisces, the MPUV, and the Pitbull. So he's got quite a variety there. And then he's got some packs. So tell me about the packs that you have.
So the first pack I ever bought was the middle one, which is the Explorer pack, but it's the Mega Explorer pack. So it's got the 9 ships, and it had pretty much what I was excited for the game at that time. I've upgraded a number of the ships, as you can see.
Yep.
On there. But it was the first one that I picked up. And then the top one was the forgot the name of it. It's the industrial pack.
Yeah.
And it's mostly the same as what it was when I got it. I didn't really want to change anything on that, but I did swap out the medical ship. People probably say, why? Why would you do that? After the medical gameplay got changed so much that it almost became that it wasn't really going to be what it was originally supposed to be.
Right.
So I
Right.
just wasn't as interested in it anymore. It was like you're doing it kind of for yourself rather than for the community,
Mm-hmm.
which bothered me. So I bought the moth in its place, like so upgraded to the moth.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
So this,
more
yeah.
or
So,
less, that pack stayed the same, more or less.
so after your original pledge, which I don't even see anywhere in your fleet anymore, your Avenger Titan, what did you roll that into?
So I rolled it into probably one of my, how to say this, it was one of my favorite ships. It was the Cutlass Black. I loved the look
Mm-hmm.
of it. I loved what it could do. I loved how the ship was laid out. But I found it a little twitchy to play with, right? Like it's like it would twitch back and forth quite a bit. It just didn't feel smooth to me. I played it for a while, but it just
Mm-hmm.
felt twitchy-ish to
Now, when
me.
you say twitchy, is that playing on a mouse and keyboard, or did you move to any sort of controller at this point?
Eventually I moved to the what are they? The T1600s, the
Okay, so you had
Thrustmasters.
so you had like a HOTAS kind of setup with a throttle
Yeah,
and a
I
stick.
had a whole sauce actually.
Oh, just two sticks.
Yeah, I bought. It's
Oh,
actually the Thrustmaster Space T1600s or
okay.
16,000s maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with those. Is anyone else using two sticks instead of a throttle? For me, I play with a HOTAS, so I have the stick and the throttle separately, and I still end up using the keyboard for most everything because I haven't figured out how to bind everything yet to all the buttons. But yeah, I'm curious in the chat if you guys are using two sticks or stick and throttle, mouse and keyboard. I'm guessing that some of you guys are using sticks. Wrecker says tiny sticks. Wrecker, what tiny sticks are you talking about? I don't know what tiny sticks are. What does that mean?
Oh,
Oh,
controller.
controller. Okay. Oh, okay. So he's
Does
using a
that work?
controller.
Does that work very well? Like for the control, like for flying? I guess I imagine it must.
Yeah, I think they've spent a lot of time like tuning it for controllers. But yeah, I haven't really tried to play it on a controller before. Is that an Xbox controller style, or what type of controller do you have? Ooh, Trash Bandicoot says hot tip on the Thrustmaster SOL R2 HOSAS. They just released the Omni Throttle Adapter. Game changer if you're into that sort of thing.
Look into that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Technokoopa plays on mouse and keyboard. Yeah, see if I'm playing on my laptop traveling, I'm mouse and keyboard. If I'm at home on my main machine, then I've got my HOTAS there. Okay, Record says he can show you that pretty easy controller config and cheat sheet. I have a diagram for Xbox One. Yeah, maybe you could post that in the Discord on the channel there where we have like the tech setup kind of channel. That'd be cool. I'd love to see it because I might want to try playing it on a controller on my laptop instead of using mouse and keyboard when I'm traveling. That would be cool. So the fleet you have today, the one we're looking at now, what is the ship that started this fleet? Because I don't see your Cuddy Black, I don't see the Avenger Titan. So where did you go next? What was the next part? What started this fleet?
So the Freelancer is where I went next after the Cuddy Black,
The
and
Freelancer MAX. Is that
yeah,
the
because
freelance? Yeah.
I couldn't get the Freelancer because it was the same price as the Cuddy Black, right?
Oh yeah. So you needed to go to the big boy.
Yeah, so I picked up the Freelancer Max, and I fell in love.
Ah.
That became my ship. I no matter what package I get, no matter what ships I have,
Mm-hmm.
it will always be in my fleet. I love the ship. It gives me so much flexibility. The two, because I used to like the C1. The C1 was a ship I liked as well. I did buy that as a standalone ship
Mm-hmm.
back originally. And I like the C1. The C1's a great ship. You know, the biggest drawback to the C1, and everybody talks about it all the time, is you only have one way in and one way out.
Yeah, and the
Right?
Freelancer series solves that with that ladder, and
Mm,
sorry, MISC in general solved that with that side
right.
ladder, and it's much more convenient sometimes.
So that was a
Mm.
big thing for me. When you're going into one of those outposts and
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what it was called, Dunbar Outpost, I think it was, where you could go and you
Hmm.
could buy stuff and sell it and all that sort of stuff. Um, being able to just quickly go out that ladder, get your stuff done, and go back to that ladder without having to open up the back and wait for things to
Mm-hmm.
open and wait for things to close and have somebody maybe jump in behind you or something. That was a factor that I considered when it came to the ships, and the Freelancer solved it.
Yeah, as soon as you get out of that ship, that ladder pulls up and the door shuts, and no one's getting in at that point. You don't really have to think about it. Like, you don't have to remember
Yeah.
to close a door or anything like that. The Prowl utility does that as well, says Wrecker. Interesting. Would you say that then the Freelancer Max is the ship in this fleet you fly the most? Or is something else now kind of taken over that top spot?
So the the Freelancer Max, I still fly quite a bit. I do it for like stacking cargo missions and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to just get on by myself and just fly and do a couple of quick little cargo things and stuff, I'll oftentimes jump on the 315p. So
Ooh,
the Origin
315p.
315p is, I don't think anybody even thinks as much about that ship. It is easy to fly, easy to use. Um, it has 12 SCU of cargo. So you can
Mm-hmm.
do all of those really small cargo missions really fast, really easy with that ship. If you don't want to spend a lot of hours on, you want to just get on and do a couple of like little cargo runs. It's a great ship. Um, but it's also, and this, you live in your ships. You look at your ships and you go, oh, hey, that's got a bed and that's got
Mm-hmm.
a layout that you like and stuff like this. Now, people say, anybody who doesn't play Star Citizen, all the people who play Star Citizen get this. Oh, there's a toilet in here, not a bucket. Or there's this kind of stuff. And it's funny because we know in the future a lot of that's going to matter. It's going to matter,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it's just nice to go into something and know that it's actually built to use, built to live in,
Mm-hmm.
built to fly. And that's the big difference between Star Citizen and so many other games, is that if you looked at the ships and you went, hey, if I had to live in this, could I? Yeah, you probably could.
Is that one of your purchasing factors for ships in the game? Like, if a ship doesn't have like a bed and a bathroom and feel a little bit like you could live in it, does that turn you off of the ship? And it's mainly the fighters, right, that don't. But is that part of
Yeah.
your ship purchase criteria?
Yeah, it actually is. I look at a ship and I kind of go around it and I watch the different video reviews of ships and stuff. I've seen your
Mm-hmm.
reviews of ships. And you look at the ships and you go, like, is that something that feels uh like a real ship? That's like when you do
Mm-hmm.
your should this be in my hangar? All of those little factors matter. Like it may not
Mm-hmm.
seem it, but if you're gonna be buying it, you might as well have it be what you want it to be.
Which ship in your fleet has the best interior for living out of your ship that you think?
Okay, so this is kind of a little bit awkward because it's not the ship I love.
Well, which one is it?
It would be probably the Starlancer Max.
Oh, okay. So you like the 4 bedroom area there, the kitchen, that nice dining nook, and
Community area in the middle, and
yeah, yeah. No, I could see myself living in the Starlancer Max. That would be
yeah,
a comfortable ship to live in. It
absolutely.
it's got a lot of bedrooms though, so that one you kind of multiplayer. What do you think about the
Yes.
the you have the Argo raft. What do you think of the interior in the Argo raft?
So as you may notice, I have a lot of Argos.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of the Argo ships. The interior of
Okay.
the Argo SRV and the Argo Raft, I
Mm-hmm.
probably like more than the other ones. The other ones are
Mm-hmm.
good. Don't get me wrong. But the SRV, which you like, why would I have the
Cozy.
SRV? I one, I like the Argo design. I like the tilting thrusters and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
the SRV and the Raft have really comfortable feeling living areas.
They do. They do. You
Yeah.
could totally uh cozy out in there. It's very comfortable and cozy.
Yeah.
So which ship in this fleet then gets flown the least?
So right now, the the Starfare gets flown the least.
Yeah, I can see that. Even with all the new refueling missions in the game, have you tried any of those new ones?
Yeah, but I use a Starlight for that.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
think
haven't
I
actually
think
used
there's
the
a point
Starfare
where
for any
you'll
of those refueling missions yet. Yeah.
okay, if you do the Starlight missions enough, you'll start getting some bigger contracts where the other ship will make more sense
Yeah.
because you can do bigger stuff. Cool. The 315p reminds me, Talvo from our org loves the 315p just like you. He says the same things about it, that it's a sleeper ship, that everyone should use that ship for a lot of jobs in the verse because it's fast, it's reliable, it's got the tractor beam, it's got the cargo space, the living area. Yeah, I've heard from Talvo that is a really good ship to own. Going
Yeah,
back
it's
to
sorry.
oh, go ahead. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's layout too. It's a very stealthy ship. Its EM is really low on it, so
Yeah, it
like
comes
you
with
can
all
sneak
stock
in
stealth components.
everything in its stealth. Everything is stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really good about like zipping in and out.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't
Mm-hmm.
get seen. It's not like you're not using it to go fight people. You're using it to fly past people.
Right, right. I think that might be why Wrecker likes the power utility so much too, because it's a kind of a stealthier ship.
Yeah.
It could be a benefit of that. And Trash Bandicoot agrees with you on Argo. Argo is the best in his mind. Technokoopa says the SRV feels like a camper semi truck to me.
Absolutely, Techno. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So thinking back to the pledge store, looking at all the ships, making a decision to purchase a ship, getting it in your hangar and experiencing that ship for the very first time. What ship surprised you or exceeded your expectations the most?
Uh, that would probably be the 315 again. Like I slept on it forever. I had it in that package. It comes with the Explorer Mega
Mm-hmm.
Pack.
Mm-hmm.
Never flew it. Never flew it.
Really?
And then one day I decided just to jump in it quickly to fly from one place to another
Mm-hmm.
and do a cargo mission. And I was like, oh, hey, this has got 12 SU. I was like, I didn't even realize it. I didn't even pay attention. I wasn't looking
Mm.
at any of the charts or stuff on it. But when I went to load the 8 that I was going to load in it, I noticed that there was a second button. I clicked on it, and another ramp came down. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even know that. I didn't realize it was there. And after that point, it's like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Would you say that people misunderstand this ship then?
Yeah, I think a lot of people do because you'll hear people say, what's the best ship to get? Should I get the Titan or should I get the? And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they'll talk about the 325 or whatever. I think because they're thinking combat because the 325 is a
Yeah.
combat version of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And technically, if you're looking at it from a combat perspective and you're looking between Titan and the 325, the Titan wins out every time, right?
Oh,
They carry
okay.
the same amount. The Titan's got that really nice big gun on the front.
Mm-hmm.
But the 315p, if what you're wanting to do is just quietly go in places, just do your work and fly back out, the 315p is the one I think people don't even think about.
Mm. So now, when you're playing with your friends and you guys get online, what ship in this fleet do you multi-crew the most?
The Asgard.
What? Why
Not
the
not the
Asgard?
because the Asgard has a lot more cargo space, and I've always loved the Valkyrie. I always wished they had made the Valkyrie what the Asgard is, right?
Oh, okay.
And so the Asgard just tends to be the one that, specifically the friends that I play with, they're like, it's like, hey, let's jump in the Asgard. Easier to load, easier to run. It's a lot smaller, say, than the Starlancer, which is a little more awkward to run in and out of the Starlancer. It's a lot easier to get in and out of the Asgard, and you can load a lot of stuff in there. So if you have a couple of people, you can get some pretty good loads in there and get where you're going.
What about the Asgard? Like, I'm just thinking about, you mentioned hauling gameplay and also the salvage gameplay. Why not the C2? Why the Asgard?
So the C2, and this is actually interesting because the C2 is the very first ship I ever saw from Star Citizen. I looked at a picture of it on the planet, and it's got I believe it's got the M2 behind it. And I've always fallen in love with that ship, and it was the ship that first got me really, really interested in Star Citizen, and I had to eventually have it in game. It has the same, like, you can haul a ton of stuff in it, but it has a couple of little issues, like how long it takes to get down into, onto the planet from the cockpit. If you're running say 3 people or something like this, fine, because they can open up the doors and they can go out and they can start doing stuff and sort of protect it. But I wouldn't. I know a lot of people solo it. I don't think I would solo it. So I just don't fly it a lot. It's just a big ship.
Right.
I do fly it. I like it. It's actually pretty responsive for the size of ship it is. That's really the reason. I wish I could fly it more, and I probably would. I wish there were more of me so that I could fly more of these ships.
Yeah, that's why you got to get into a good org and have people to play with, because we always end up crewing each other's ships sometimes for some of the adventures we go on. Which ship, or I guess in your place, package took you the longest to justify the cost?
The very first package, because I was going from, like, just a couple of I was going from purchasing Cutlass and Freelancer to the Mega Pack, the Explorer Mega Pack, and
that's a big
cheap.
jump.
That was not a cheap purchase.
Yeah, so how did you justify that purchase in your mind? Like, what were you thinking was going to happen when you had that Mega Pack?
So I didn't intend to go beyond that Mega Pack. Like, that was going to be it, right? So I justified it as, this is going to be like my final fleet. we all say that, right? This is going to be my final fleet. And the justification was, this is going to be, and really honestly, all of my purchases is to support the game, make it so that it does get built. And that was in my mind, my mental justification. I'm going to buy this. It's going to support the game. It's going to support what's happening. It's going to be my final fleet. I'm not going to purchase anything more. And that was my justification.
Okay. No, that makes sense. And so that I can imagine that was very difficult to justify at the time, because you didn't have a whole lot invested in the game when you made that large jump to having that big of a fleet. Something that to tell everyone in the chat, you see the Odyssey there. That is in the wish list, okay? He melted the Odyssey, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Even though it's on the picture, because it's on his future fleet recommendation. So, what ship is your Hangar Queen? Like, that, in my mind, the Hangar Queen is a ship you love to display. You love how it looks. You love everything about it, but you don't really use it. What ship is that for you?
So for me, that would be the 600i Explorer. The 600, okay. I think Origin makes by far the most beautiful ships in the game. I love the other ship. Don't get me wrong. I love RSI. I love the Galaxy. I love the Odyssey. To me,
Mm-hmm.
MISC is just, is a beautiful ship as well. But
Origin, luxury.
Origin makes just these really nice yacht kind of looking ships.
Yeah.
But the Explorer's just, there's no real purpose for an Explorer ship right now, first off.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to do some reworking on it, because right now it's just a lot of big empty space inside it that doesn't have any purpose.
Right.
So for this size of ship, there's not a lot of utility to it,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
I get is an Origin thing. I understand that. But
Yeah,
I
we
think
had
with the
Billy
reworks
Hyde
and
on
stuff,
we had Billy Hyde on a few weeks ago, and he is also a big Origin fanboy. He loves the Origin design language. So I can totally see what you're talking about with that. And yeah, so that one you don't melt it, you keep it, maybe waiting for the rework, and then maybe you'll see if it lives up to
yeah.
your expectations, huh? So now, what is the ship you melted that you wish you still had in your fleet? I teased this earlier.
So yeah, the Odyssey. What an idiot!
Mm,
I had the Odyssey, and it was in a pack, and because I'd upgraded to it, and I melted that pack because there were other ships in the pack I didn't like, and I thought the Odyssey was going to come up more frequently than it did. And
mm.
So yeah, I still kick myself about that one.
Now, looking at this ship, this looks a lot like the Starlancer. If you look
Very,
at the
very much like the
Starlancer,
Starlancer.
and then you look at the Odyssey, this is like Starlancer Chungus, or the bigger version of the Starlancer. What is it about the Odyssey that makes you love it so much?
So the design language of both the Starlancer and the Odyssey. So the Starlancer, I wanted the Starlancer when it originally came out. The biggest problem with the Starlancer to me was I really didn't like the cargo layout of it. Although your video on the cargo layout and what kind of makes sense for it did kind of make more sense to me
Mm,
when I saw your video on that. But the Odyssey is going to be a little different. It's designed to be it's going to have its own mining facilities in there for Quantanium. It's going to have its own refinery inside. It's got a fairly large hangar. Apparently, well, it's a small hangar, but like it's a larger hangar
mm-hmm,
than what's on the TAC, for instance. Um, and the idea of this is being able just to take a crew, go out and just be out and explore, find planets, do things.
mm-hmm.
And to me, that's like I would literally, if I could, melt my entire fleet just to have this ship, well, and the Freelancer and the 315P. But
Mm.
I'd be happy just to have this ship to bound around the universe in.
That's interesting because what's funny is you have the Starlancer MAX that you don't fly very often.
Yeah.
And why do you think this one would be different?
Uh,
What is it about this one that just scratches an itch that the Starlancer's not?
so the Starlancer is limited in my mind in that sense.
Mm,
This one's going to be like you go and do more, go further, and so I think, and this is going to have, well, the TAC has this already. I know you're going to say this, but this one's going to have the medical rooms in it, the medical beds, that
mm-hmm,
kind of idea. It's going to have that mining capability. It is going to have that refining. I I wish it did more than just refine the Quantanium, but maybe it
mm,
will. We don't know.
right. We
Maybe
don't know
there's going
what
to be
ship refining's gonna look like.
some, yeah. So we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So I kind of look at it from that perspective. Is it going to be that much different? I don't know. I'm hoping I'm not going to, purchase it and then go, this isn't, you know, quite what I expected.
So
But
something that came up in our earlier conversation I wanted to share with folks is that while Urgent Hush was in Manchester, he got to talk to someone from CIG about the Odyssey. What did you find out?
So it was I always forget his last name, is John
Crew?
John Crew. I always forget his name. John Crew. So we got talking at Manchester, and I mentioned to him how excited I was to see the Starlancer Max video.
Mm-hmm.
And I says I says when it first came up, I thought it was going to be the Odyssey when it first came out.
Mm.
And he said, yeah, the whole point of the Starlancer Max and the Starlancer TAC was to create the components that would help them move into building the Starlancer Odyssey. So the whole idea is to learn the components and stuff and build bigger and bigger from there. And they've done that with a lot of other ships too, where they'll build a ship and it gives them the ability to sort of add to what the next ships coming down the line are going to be. So I am excited. Odyssey is hopefully something that's not going to be post 1.0.
Yeah, there's really no exploration game loop right this moment.
No.
But you know, it hasn't stopped them from releasing other exploration ships in the past. If CIG wiped your account tomorrow and said, listen, you can only keep one ship going into 1.0. We're taking all your ships away. You can only keep one of these ships going in. Which one are you keeping?
I'd probably be the Freelancer Max.
Okay. Yeah. He's a special
Gives me the flexibility.
All right, everybody. It's time for Star Jump Fleet Viewers Ship of the Day. So, what ship do you think best represents Urgent Hush's fleet? What's the ship that defines his hangar? Let me know in the chat and we'll see what ship wins. If you want to build your own fleet, head over to, where is it? We're going to send you over to hangar.link and create your fleet view today. I just posted the link for you guys in chat. If you want to be on an upcoming episode of Secrets Behind the Hangar Door, go ahead and create your fleet pick over there on hangar.link and send it to me over in our Discord, and we can get you on a future show. I'd love to have you and talk about your fleet. All right, everybody. I need to see some votes in the chat. What ship best defines Urgent Hush's fleet? Do you think it's the Odyssey? Do you think it's the Freelancer Max? The Starlancer? I don't know. Which one best reflects Urgent Hush's gameplay style, too? I'm leaning towards the Freelancer Max only because it seems to be your favorite ship in the game and the one you fly the most, and also the one you would keep if you were to have your whole account wiped tomorrow. So maybe the ship of the day should be the Freelancer. I think Wrecker agrees. He's saying the Freelancer. I don't know if anyone else in chat has an opinion on that. I'll give it a few more minutes, but I have a feeling that is where we're going to end up. So let me go here. Now it's time to go a little deeper. Every fleet tells a story, but sometimes the most interesting stories aren't the ships. Let's see what's hiding behind the hangar door. What's a fleet decision that you regret?
So, and probably everybody guessed this one right away. I don't regret my fleets per se, but I think I should have spent a little more time in the game before building so big so fast. I did build a very big fleet quickly. A lot of it, again, as I said, was to support the efforts that CIG is doing. I know that I'm not going to be able to fly all these ships all the time, and that's my biggest regret, is that I have these ships, but I'm not going to be able to fly them all the time. So that's probably my biggest regret right there.
So, is there a ship that you wanted to love but didn't? One of these ships you've purchased over the years, and after getting it in game and giving it a shot, you're just like, no, this really isn't for me.
So it's not even really so much that it's not for me per se. I just, of all the ships that I bought that I was so excited for, I just don't fly the Starlancer Max. I just don't have a purpose for it yet. I just can't get into it quite yet, which is
Yeah.
weird. Like, it's got the best livable space in my opinion. It's got a lot of character, it's got a lot of stuff, but I don't think to jump in it and go fly. If my buddies are
Right.
there, I don't say, "Hey, let's go jump in the Starlancer."
Is it because it's just so inconvenient? Is there a convenience factor when it comes to gameplay?
Oh, I think so. I get the idea of the loading pods and that kind of idea on the side. I think those were when I first heard about those. I was like, "That is brilliant." Then I saw it was kind of split in the middle, and it's kind of annoying to try and put boxes from one side to the other. And that was like, if that was an open area,
Like the
I'd probably have a
Taurus?
completely different perspective of the ship.
Yeah, if that was just an elevator like the Connie Taurus that just came down and was completely open and flat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting thought. What's a ship everyone told you not to buy?
The Starfarer,
Ah, okay. So that Starfarer, yeah,
because at
I can
that time
see
there was, well, one, it's got a really dorky interior.
it is a challenge to navigate that interior. It needs some more signs.
Yeah. Yeah, that and just sort of a little more functionality to it. So
It does have a big hangar bay in the bottom. You know, like that big room at the bottom is fairly big. Like you can put a lot
it
of
does,
boxes or vehicles in there, but
but it sucks to drive vehicles into it because it's got those overhangs.
yeah, it does limit you a little bit there. All right, here's the big one. What is an unpopular Star Citizen opinion that you have?
So, and I get into a lot of debates with guys about this on Reddit. Again, Reddit guys, it's toxic. Avoid it. But the PvE PvP debate is a big one with me. And people misunderstand what I'm saying when I say about PvP and PvE. I don't think that PvP should be taken out of the game, but
Okay.
it's one of these games where people, I think they think PvP means just run around and kill everybody you see. And I don't think that was, and even Chris Roberts said himself, that was not the intent of the game. There should be some risk. There's a possibility things could happen. I guess he didn't just realize how toxic some members can be when it comes to playing, pad ramming and just shooting you for no reason, this kind of stuff, right? I think PvP has its place, and I love what they talked about in the Star Citizen at Manchester when they were talking about those fighting for planets, for those force fields that kind of protect your base or whatever, when they were talking about
the
that.
shields.
And they were talking about how you had to start it up, so it wasn't just a case of you go, you fight, you have it. You have to actually have the resources, and so who can ever create the resources first would get that. So it's not just a big shoot 'em up. It's, you have to have your cargo ships, you have to have your mining, you have to have your, and I think that's brilliant. I think that is probably one of the best, most brilliant aspects of PvP. Eventually we are going to have the enforcement. I just don't trust it.
The law enforcement
in the
that
other
spawns
areas
in.
where people, yeah, well, just right now there is no what's the word I'm looking for? Right now
Police.
there is no penalty for just running around killing people for no reason. Right?
Hey, I just want
So
to give a quick shout out to a few folks. I see Climactic Prince in the chat. He showed up late into the show, so did not have an opinion on your ship of the day. Viv Barbosa says the Chungus. Starjump Grim. Hey, Starjump, good to have you in the chat. And let's see. And Barbosa says that once orgs and NPC local security combined can hunt down attackers and griefers. Yes. That'll be cool. Hey, Roy Beanie's in the chat. Good to have you. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Once orgs and NPC local security combined can hunt down attackers and griefers. So that would give... There could be entire orgs around law enforcement and protection. That could be very interesting down the line as base building starts coming together.
Which, interestingly enough, the org that I joined is a law enforcement org, and they do a lot of that. And it's cool. We have an internal system where if we get attacked, we can go to it and we can say, hey, at security, I'm getting attacked by pirates at this place or at this point. Can somebody come and help? And they'll send out a bunch of guys and fighters and big ships to come and help you.
Oh, that's fun.
So yeah,
that's cool. It is that, so when you say you have an unpopular Star Citizen opinion around that, what is your opinion? Do you want to see PvP turned off, or do you want it to be limited? Like you said, you have an unpopular opinion. So what is your... If you could flip a switch tomorrow and change Star Citizen forever, what are you referring to when you talk about PvP and PvE?
Yeah, so this is where the unpopular part comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I would have dedicated areas, like I say, what they had determined for the force fields and for those for the planet to defend each other and stuff. I'd have dedicated PvP areas, and that's where you PvP. And if you want to PvP somebody, that it should be, and this is where the conflict comes in, is that I think it should be consensual, just like ESO has, where if you want to PvP somebody, they have to agree to it.
Right. Interesting. So that would change the game dramatically for a lot of players who like the risk. So are you saying it would be a switch, like on my account, like when I'm in game, I could hit a switch and then that would make me immune to PvP activity, or you mean just in general, like anybody who's in Stanton can't be attacked, like bullets go right through you, nothing happens to you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, and this is why I say it's an unpopular opinion, due to the fact that, and I deal with humans. My real life experience is with dealing with humans. I'm in healthcare, and I was in crowd control, crowd management. Humans suck. Sorry, that's their unpopular statement. But there's always going to be those humans, and all they're going to look for is to make your life miserable. And if they can make your life miserable, they will. If we could control that somehow, then we wouldn't need that. But because humans are like that, because humans are always going to want... Some humans, not all. I think the vast majority want to get along, want to cooperate, want to come together, want to do these missions together, want to work together. It's always, you'll see an event, for instance, and you'll be working with your org, you'll be working with other people, and then somebody just flies in and starts killing people for no reason while you're trying to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's that kind of behavior that's really changing your opinion on PvP. It's not PvP equals bad, it's griefers equal bad.
Yeah. Just people who just can't help themselves. If you play a PvP game, and here's the thing, I play lots of FPS PvP games. I play Call of Duty. I play brain went dead as to what it is. It's the one where you go in and you raid a building against other PvP players. You'll be playing these games, and if you're able to kill your team, you'll just get guys that'll just kill you just because. There's no reason. You're your teammates, and they'll just kill you. And it kind of just, to me, it's like, okay, we're here to play a game. Like, what's the point of that? Like, what do you get out of it? Yeah. Like, what do you get out of that?
No, that's good. We're going to move on to the next section here. So what's a gameplay loop that you secretly enjoy? Like, we know you like hauling and mining and salvaging, but what do you secretly enjoy?
I secretly enjoy bunker missions and stuff like that.
Okay, so the FPS gameplay loop is fun.
Yeah. I enjoy working with the team and going and do it. I don't like to solo them. I like to go with the team and communicate and
Right. You like the tactical strategy of going in and plotting and working together. Yeah.
right.
Climactic Prince agrees with you. He said, no, you're right. Humans suck. I, for one, welcome our Xeno overlords.
There you go.
Oh, man. So what's one ship or vehicle in the game that you've seen and you know in your heart, like, I will never own this, I don't want this, and why?
Oh, here's another unpopular opinion.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. The Kraken, actually.
Really? The Kraken?
Everybody loves the Kraken.
Yes. Sergeant Grimm, I hope your ears are closed right now.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Grim loves the Kraken. Grim, I apologize. I'm sorry, but I think the reason that you love the Kraken is the reason I don't. I think it's going to take too much time, too much organizing, too much. Like, you won't be able to do any other gameplay if you have the Kraken out there. You're going to have to spend so much time, organizing and having people there and protecting it and that kind of stuff. And that's just something I don't want to. If somebody else, and I know a number of our org have it, I'll happily go and ride on it. I'll happily go and even man guns for them. I just don't want to be the one who owns it.
To me, I feel like the Kraken is the first real org base in the game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's kind of like a base, right? You've got landing pads. It's probably got a massive interior. Like, everybody could live there, work out of it, support it as a base in a way. That'll be interesting when that one's finally in the game next year. What do you think is the biggest lesson Star Citizen has taught you?
Two lessons, really. Patience, and anybody who's knows the old soon TM. So patience. You have to be patient. This game is, and I'm not one of these people that believes, oh, it's a scam and blah blah blah. No, I really believe this game is going to come out, and I really believe they are working on it. And the other thing is going to be, don't rush into things. Don't rush into big purchases. Join an org, and you can fly almost any ship that's in this game, and learn it and know what really suits you. That would be my big lessons.
All right. Well, we talked about the fleet. We've talked about the ships. We've talked about the stories behind those ships. Now it's time to find out how well you actually know the ships sitting in your hangar. That's right. Welcome to the engineering bench. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many engineering questions as possible. Each question today is based on the ships currently in your fleet. You have a lot of them.
I do.
Questions and answers are sourced from Urkel.games using Star Citizen 4.9 live data. If you know an answer, answer it. If you don't, just say pass so I can move on to the next question.
Okay.
An answer can be changed at any time before the 60-second clock expires unless I've already revealed the correct answer to you. The highest score at the end of this season takes the title of Chief Engineer and takes home this prize. The next prize up for grabs is the Salvage Crew or Cargo Crew t-shirt in your size sent to your house. So, we shall see. Let's see how well you know your fleet. Climactic Prince, who's in the chat, says good luck. He's waiting to see if you're gonna beat him. All right, are you ready?
I'm not ready, but let's go.
All right, you should know these. Well, maybe not. We'll see. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Is the max nav speed of the Origin 315P greater or less than 1400?
Less.
How many coolers does the stock MISC Freelancer come with? Freelancer MAX, how many coolers?
I'm going to say 2.
Which quantum drive comes stock in the RSI Zeus Mark II ES?
Which I don't know that.
Which power plant comes stock in the Origin 315P?
It's a stealth one, that much I know.
Name?
But I don't know what kind.
How many shield generators come stock in the MISC Freelancer MAX?
1.
How many shield generators does the stock RSI Zeus Mark II ES come with?
The ES?
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Time is up.
Yeah, nope, I got nothing on that.
I think you got one right. The coolers in the Freelancer one.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't pay attention to my and I never really did until you started doing those cards.
Yeah, the ship component trading cards.
Like if you told me are they stealth components in the 315, that's the one thing I do know is that they're stealth components.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Freelancer is like the stock components are civilian.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know like what each one of them actually is. I did trade out some components on one of my ships, which was the Cutlass. But that's the only ship I've actually traded any components out on was on the Cutlass.
Really? So you don't spend much time upgrading ships, engineering, those types of gameplay loops. Yeah, that's why this is the engineering bench challenge, because it's definitely hard.
Yeah, I haven't actually yet, because for some of the components it didn't matter. Like if you did a shield component, shield generators, for instance, they all were, there was no real difference between them per se. Originally, but I guess now there is. Like a lot of the components were just like you can switch things out, but it's not going to really make that much difference. Whereas the guns do make a difference, and the power makes a difference because you can run more guns if you have more power.
Yeah,
but I guess everything does now make more difference.
The more recent patches definitely the upgrades matter quite a bit more than they used to. They've really separated the stats for like grade A versus grade C. And then of course the different types of components have their own risks and benefits. But yeah. All right, well you got one. You're on the board. So we'll see how that goes.
There you go.
Now that we've established your engineering credentials, let's take a look towards the future. So we're going to go back to your fleet here. What's missing from your fleet today?
So yeah, this picture here is what my eventual fleet is supposed to look like. So the only thing on here that's different than I don't have right now is the Odyssey. I'm waiting for the Odyssey, and then I think I am more or less complete.
Okay.
Looking at all the ships that I have on here, I didn't really want to change the fleets too much, but I did, as you can tell.
Yeah.
From the packages. But there's certain ones that I just wanted to have.
Right.
You know, but now this new, what is it? The new one is a Crusader, what is it? What's the word that they use? Like what this, brain went dead. The Drake, like the new Drake, the new Crusader is supposed to be similar, right? No, not the Ironclad. The,
which one? Kraken?
Oh my God, my brain went dead. The smaller version of the Corsair, if you will.
The Clipper?
The
Generalist. Okay, you're looking for a Crusader Generalist.
Isn't that what they were saying this new one's going to be?
I don't know. I heard about an Origin potential Generalist, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Generalist ships I think are pretty cool. I think they're going to give us a lot more flexibility in the game. And,
they're more for solo players, which seems to be what the majority of people are doing. So the next ship that you're considering then purchasing is getting the Odyssey back in the fleet. Is there any other ship that you're anticipating from from the announcements recently of all the new ships that are coming by the end of the year?
Well, the Galaxy I own, so
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be definitely going to be on my fleet. Eventually, sometime, they will build the Nautilus, and the
Oh,
Nautilus is. I do own it. I just don't have it in my fleet, obviously, yet.
okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's not in the game yet. Now, thinking about the Galaxy, the Odyssey, and the Nautilus, which of those do you wish was in the game now?
right now.
Mm-hmm. If one of those could be in the game today when you signed in, which one would you rather have in the game right now?
So now that I've gone on and on about the Odyssey, the thing is, there's no gameplay loop for it quite yet,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Nautilus doesn't have the gameplay loop I want yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd have to be the Galaxy. I mean, looking at it realistically, the Galaxy's going to give us the ability to. I have the medical component for it,
Oh, okay.
the med bay component for it.
Right, right.
So it's going to be, which is why I didn't really need to have the Apollo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
the Galaxy has that. Um, if I had my druthers, I'd like to have the gameplay and the Odyssey.
Ah, okay. No, that makes sense. So imagine CIG announces a new ship tomorrow that they built especially for you. What would that be? Pushed all your buttons, checked
All
all
my
your
buttons.
boxes. Yep. What would it look like? What type of ship would it be?
So it would probably have to be the Odyssey style ship because a lot of it has a lot of what I want to play.
Mm.
But they would have to um, allow me to refine more than just Quantanium.
Right. And so the
That
Odyssey,
being greedy.
no, I kind of see the Odyssey. The idea, I think, is almost like the fuel scoops in Elite Dangerous, right? It could refine Quantanium to make its own fuel, so it could stay out forever, out in the verse,
Forever.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Nautilus confuses the heck out of me. Why? What about the Nautilus has you excited? What is the gameplay that you're expecting to come with the Nautilus?
So that's org based.
Okay.
It's a defensive ship. It's a support ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at everything that I do, and every game I play, I either play a medic or I play a support or I play that kind of stuff. I'm never like the main act kind of idea. Um, to me, the Nautilus, and it's not even putting mines out; it's putting out mines that let, don't blow up, but that tell you people are coming. Like it's like having
Surveillance, more like
a
a wider
surveillance. Yeah,
radar, like a better radar, kind of like the
right. Well,
Hornet
they
Ghost,
do
or
have it as part of the. They do have it as part of the uh, purpose of the
okay.
ship. Is that like
Right, right. So
early warning beacons and this kind of idea? So I kind of see it
right.
as a support ship to the rest of the org when they're going and they're
Mm-hmm.
doing their battles and stuff. This one doesn't really per se engage in battles. What it does is it provides like support around the edge of the battlefield and does surveillance and also does mining, that kind of idea. So to me, it's kind of like a support
Mm-hmm.
concept, if you will.
Okay. That makes sense. Now that helps me. Johnny Macaroni says they haven't mentioned the Nautilus since its concept. I don't think it will ship before 1.0. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is a
know. I
fear.
have not heard anything about it either. Advice for a new player. Someone joining the game right now that's watching the stream and says, I want to go big like Urgent Hush. What would
Yeah.
you give a new player as far as advice?
Don't.
Don't.
Honestly, play the game. Play with your this get a package, a nice small package, and play the game and join an org. Be with other people. Like even if you want to play, even if you want to play solo, get with an org, get with other people, and learn the game, and
Mm-hmm.
then you'll have an idea. Hey, is this something I really like? Is this a type of gameplay I really like? Is this what I'd like to do? That's what I would say.
Gotcha. Innovus, hey, good to see you in chat, sir. I don't know that we've met, but he says we won't see Nautilus until after they get drones working. So that's an interesting thing too. The Nautilus is part of the drones.
Very much so, yeah.
Okay. And Johnny Macaroni says his advice to someone new would be to never play the game alone in the first week. Yeah, you need someone to help teach you all the minefields of bugs, right?
Yeah,
you,
that's
you
actually
can
really good
survive your
advice.
first
Yeah.
week. Yeah, you do. You do really need someone to kind of help you because it can be extremely frustrating when you're new because you think you're doing something wrong because you don't know the game and you don't expect the
Right.
game to behave the way it does sometimes. And you don't know if is it me? Is it my computer? Is my internet not fast enough for this game? Like what's going on? So no, that's great advice.
Right. Yeah.
To get with other people during that first week. I think so. Before we close the hangar door tonight, I got one final question for you. If you could send
Okay.
a message back to the version of yourself that bought the first pledge ship, what would you tell them?
So pretty much the advice I just gave, like,
You would tell
slow
yourself the
down.
same thing?
Yep, slow down. I really wanted to support the mission that CIG had, but slow down, take your time, um, really get to learn the game and understand it before you start buying, um, packages and stuff like that. But
Mm,
I love the game. I have a lot of hopium. I
yep.
do think that we've seen a lot of really good advancement, particularly in the last year to 2 years. There are still things they got to work on, and being an honest person, that's true. I disagree with a lot of people that say it should already be out and finished and done after all these years, because take a look, GTA 6, and it's not even going to be, it's just a single player game right at the moment, and it's not even, but we got to experience this growth with CIG. Maybe that was a mistake, maybe it wasn't, but we've gotten to experience this growth with the company as they've gone on, and I think that's a good thing.
All right. Well, that being said, I just want to thank you everyone for joining us tonight and everyone who stopped by the hangar. I really appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another fleet, another story, and another shot for someone to become our chief engineer. If you want to share your fleet and your story with the community, send me a message on Discord. I'd love to get you onto a future episode. I'd love to hear your stories. There's a lot of old timers, I would call them, in this game, original backers. And I want to talk to you. I want to hear your stories because you've got the best stories out of everybody in the game. You've seen it all. So I'd love to have you guys on the show. And every fleet has a story. So thank you, Urgent Hush, for sharing yours with us today.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, Dusty. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of fun to talk about it, and it's really been enjoyable.